Good old country boy. Okay, we're going to go live. Hopefully we were live. But hello and welcome. My name is Heroine Bob, and my lovely guest for this evening is Dale from Flipping Fiasco. I was trying to do too much alliteration there.
Well, Flipping Fiasco, that's me.
Okay. Well, please introduce yourself because not everybody knows you. And I was.
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me on your, what do you call it, Reseller Repartee.
Yes. It's supposed to be witty conversation, witty dialogue.
Oh, we can.
I know. Okay.
We can definitely be witty. So,
okay.
Yes, my name is Dale. My channel is now Flippin' Fiasco, but it used to be DLJ, which are my initials, and then from PA. Because I thought it was like so cute and like snappy, like DLJ from PA. But a lot of people saw it as like DLJ from Pa.
But see, the thing is like I saw your video where you were talking about your name change, and I was like, I always had it DLJ from PA, but like I get it because it was one word.
Yeah,
but I thought it was so cute.
Yeah, it was cute, but I decided it was time for a change and maybe getting away a little bit from these are my exact initials and this is exactly where I live in the US.
Smart.
Yeah. So I decided to change it and I was brainstorming and came up with Flippin' Fiasco and ran it by a few people and they gave it the thumbs up. So that's how that came to be. And so, I've been reselling. I started actively reselling and doing my YouTube channel on February 1st last year. So it was like right before the pandemic hit. So I barely know what this is like in a normal world.
Well, yeah, I have your video talking about your very first video, or your very first video was actually published February 3rd. And it was talking about the reason why you wanted to do reselling and do YouTube reselling channel was because you're going to be empty nesters soon with you and your husband. And that you also wanted as a way to lose weight, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, and that hasn't really happened. But I just thought like, oh, if I'm going to be staring at myself on camera so much, maybe I'll decide to like actually do something about like, because I'd say over the past 5 years, like we talked right before we went live here that I'm 45. So I really feel like I hit that 40 mark. And one of the first things I did was go to the eye doctor. Like all of a sudden my eyes, I was like, I can't, like, I'm like squinting all the time. So like, and he said, let me guess, did you just turn 40? I'm like, yes. He said, this is very common. There's a muscle in your eye that weakens with age. And typically right around 40 is when people start to notice it affecting their vision.
That's interesting.
Thanks,
something
buddy.
To note.
Yes. So yes, but then I forget why I started talking about that. Oh, the weight gain.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not eating any different. I'm not doing less activity than I ever did. And all of a sudden, like I've gained a stubborn 25 pounds that I just can't get rid of.
Well, see, the thing is that I think that's also, well, you started your channel before the pandemic, but I feel like the panorama weight has hit everybody. So.
But mine came on before that. Thankfully, it hasn't gotten worse.
Well, then you're doing better than most of us did. Because I know I came back from Japan before the pandemic happened, and I was like at 135, and now I'm at a steady like 145. And
I would be happy at 145.
Hi, Tommy. I'm excited to see your show later tonight.
Ooh.
By the way, for those of you that are just coming in here, we will be keeping this to a 1 hour conversation because we are going to raid Kat, the Nurse Flipper. Her live is going live with Harry Tornado and Joey Bada Bing and Profit Monsters. And then if you still need more to watch, definitely go check out Tommy Bernard because they also have an amazing live as well. Have you watched Tommy at all?
I have watched Tommy.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
Connie and Tracy.
I love the lives for the YouTube community. Like
Yeah.
for the reselling community in general, like it's normally just really good discussion, not necessarily always about reselling, but it's normally just really good topics in general.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So I'm just going back to good conversation and lives. So you went from like 800 subscribers to now you're over 1,600 subscribers. And a lot of that has to do with at the end of March, you had a live with Kat from the Nurse Flipper.
I
So like
did.
how did that happen? And how did it go to talk to Jocelyn, who is like one of the lady behemoths here in the reselling community? I know, right?
Yes, so very cool. So Kat started her channel maybe about 4 or 5 months before me. I think she was like December of 2019. And we just hit it off right away. And we've like, we started following each other on Instagram and then like messaging each other and just kind of like bouncing things off of each other. And obviously like her channel has grown more. But from that friendship, when she started her live, then she said like, hey, do you want to be on my live? And I was like, absolutely, like anything to help grow my channel. So I'd been on her lives a few times.
Yeah.
And then like that, I think it was, so her lives are Tuesday nights. Monday, she sends me a message and she says, so do you love me? And I said,
of course you do.
Of course I do. Yes. But she's also like, she'll look at high bids like all around the country. And like, if she knows somebody who lives near that location, hey, will you pick this stuff up for me and ship it to me for less than, the shipping companies would send it to her. So I thought she like found an auction near me that she wanted me to like pick up for her. And I was like, well, of course I love you. What do you need? And she was like, oh, no. So her co-host right now is Julian from Bearded Thrift Machine. And he came down with like a bug and he was really sick for a while. So she said, Julian's really sick. He doesn't think he's going to be okay by tomorrow night. And it's my Crazy Lamp Lady live. So will you fill in as co-host for him if he can't make it? Yes, of course. So yes, going into that, I had about 800 subscribers. And Jocelyn and Misty from Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter, and Pat were nice enough to like encourage everybody who was watching the live that night to come over and subscribe to me. So like I was watching, like in the first hour, I'm like, oh yeah, it's creeping up. Like this is so exciting. And I think I was at like 950 and I was like, wow, like, I can't expect to go over 100 in there. She's like, come on. She needs like 44 people. So all of a sudden it was like 1,200. Like all these people went over and I thought for sure that they were going to unsubscribe from me the next day.
No.
But thankfully that hasn't happened. So
why did you feel that though? Hold on. Why did you feel like they were going to unsubscribe from you the next day?
Well, because I think because I've done a lot of jewelry unboxings recently. And so I thought if it was men, like they might come over and see all these jewelry unboxings and be like, really not my cup of tea. Like,
So Tommy, if you're still here, let me know this. Okay. So Tommy and Philly, let me know this. So what I have noticed in the reselling community is that if it is a couples channel, it is normally a 50-50 split, but geared towards more whoever the main focus is on the channel. So like Rally Roots, it is kind of even as far as the men to women ratio, but it's more geared towards men because Ryan is more on the channel. Whereas if it's, a male reseller, it's normally predominantly men with some women versus a female reseller, it's going to be predominantly women with a male sprinkled in there. Of course, that also depends on how attractive the lady is. But but like for you and your analytics, I'm guessing you're seeing the same thing where it's predominantly women with like a small percentage of men that are watching you.
We're talking like not even predominantly, like 100%. My analytics tell me that 100% of my
really
100% are female.
Wow. So my analytics, it's like depending on the month, it's normally, 80% women, 70-80%
Okay.
women, and then the rest are men.
I think I
And
need lipstick. I'm looking at your lipstick and I'm like, I think I need lipstick.
I only literally do this for lives. I don't even do it for my lives on Twitch. I only do it for the lives here on YouTube. I don't know why I have the mentality where like I'm trying actually to look cute for you. To make...
What worked? You're adorable.
But yeah, no. See, thank you, Tommy. I appreciate you. And I'm sure Tracy has similar where her viewership is predominantly female to male, but she's gorgeous, so she might have a more even split there. But I for the reselling in general, it just seems to be very like you want to listen to people that are doing the same thing you are, but also
Right.
the same gender identity, which I find very interesting because it's vastly different in the gaming space. Because in the gaming space, my analytics, while I still gear more towards women and men, it's like 60-40, where it's like 60% men and 40% women, which
Okay.
I just find so fascinating being in different spheres as well.
Yeah. So you have you do your gaming on Twitch, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you
Yes,
have a YouTube channel for gaming as well?
I do, but I don't put anything on it.
Oh, okay.
So as far as you're the first person to really ask me about Twitch. So I do gaming on Twitch. I've taken a step back because my current partner and I do not live together. So I spend half of the week at his place and then the other half of the week here. When I'm here, I will be live on my Twitch after this as well. But I am it's okay, Chi. I understand. Both of us are part-time, so we totally understand the full time. But yeah, I'm a Twitch partner. And
what does that mean? Like,
what does that mean? Okay.
Yeah, like so yeah, I am curious if you don't mind talking more about
Not at
Twitch
all.
because I the only reason that wait, is it Twitch? I think it's Twitch. That my daughter who goes to RIT for aerospace engineering, and we like to tease her that it's a bunch of nerds up there. So I think that the and I mean no disrespect by that. I
am a giant nerd.
I'm a giant
disrespect taken.
I own it. But she goes to school with a bunch of nerds. And so I think through they were like, oh, we have this, I mean, is it like chatting service or is it all streaming? Like, I think they use it as a chat.
So, okay. So Twitch is just like YouTube where can be anything. So it's predominantly video games, but there's also like hitchhiking. Before the Panini, there's hitchhiking, there's like crafting, there's sewing, there's knitting, there's people that are just talking and doing a lot.
Like literally on the side of the road, hitchhiking?
Yes, actually, one of my favorite channels to watch is a hitchhiking channel, and he's a Canadian, and he has hitchhiked literally all over the world.
Get out!
No, it's actually amazing. It is. Twitch in general is very fascinating. Like there's channels dedicated to farming. There's channels dedicated to like there's one person that owns a farm and he has like a chicken coop and a duck place. And like you can like cheer. Feed. Yeah, it's a live feed and you can feed the chicken by like subscribing or donating or whatever. It's super cute. But like Twitch is predominantly gaming. So like, okay, you do marketing, all right? So you know all about social media, or at least some, right?
Some, yeah.
So you know the like little check mark by the name, the verified check mark?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when I say I'm a Twitch partner, that just means I have the little check mark by my name. That means I'm verified. Okay. So it just means that as far as the gaming space goes, developers and producers and brands are more interested in talking to you because you have the validation check mark next to your name.
Okay. And do you have to, is it like kind of like well, it's not like monetization on YouTube, but I mean, what do you have to do to get verified?
So they do have they do have. I'm gonna not go into exact specifics online about how I got my partnership, but I will give you the broad overview. So if you want to become a partner on Twitch, you have to have a concurrent viewership. Their public thing is that you have to have a concurrent viewership of 75 or more. You have to stream at least 7 days in a month, and you have to stream at least 8 hours in a month.
Okay.
And you have to have more than like 50 followers. So
interesting.
Yes. Or you have to have content that Twitch is wanting to approach you for to produce to help with their metrics.
Gotcha.
So you can also come from other platforms. For example, YouTube. If you are a YouTube partner that has a large following, you can approach YouTube saying like, hey, I would like to stream gaming content. It doesn't fit with my content on YouTube, but I do have a dedicated audience that would be interested in maybe also joining me on this platform, and you can approach Twitch partnership in that way. And there are avenues to that as well. It just means that you have slightly better monetization and again, a little bit more leveraging when you're doing that.
And so do you have a certain, like, are there a certain genre of games that you're playing, or is it all different games, or do you want to talk about that?
So no, it's just that, okay. So for me, I will play almost anything. I just have a really crappy computer right now. That is like one of my things that I want to do. And Tommy, I totally agree with you. You just need to go lay in a hot tub. But we're not going to talk about that right now. I just have a really crappy computer. So a lot of the games, the new AAA titles that I have access to, I'm not able to play. So if you don't know what a AAA title is, that would be something produced by a major gaming studio like EA or Ubisoft, something like of that nature. My computer can't run it. My computer also can't run high FPS. So any first-person shooter games are pretty much out of it. I love PUBG. I cannot play it on my computer right now. So I'm stuck with cozy, comfy, casual games like Stardew Valley, and I do a lot of indie games, a lot of pixel art games, because those are things that my computer can run and I can also play and stream at the same time. But it's a lot of. I also have a capture card that's been sitting on my desk forever that I haven't hooked up yet because while the fact I love. Oh, Amber. Hello.
Hey, Amber.
Aw. I'm also excited to watch Tommy's live later too. I don't know if I'm gonna have to like dual screen or something. You like StarCraft? Oh my god, you're like old school. Wow. I was like, okay. Hold on. I have questions I want to ask you, and then we can get off topic with gaming all day long.
It's all good.
So my one of my major questions. Okay, so if you don't know Dale, she does a lot of unboxings.
I do.
And you have a Monday morning what sold, right?
Yes. So I used to do them every single Monday. My Monday morning coffee talk was where I talked about what sold for me in the week. And this was even when I first started, and I was like, so no sales. I don't know how I got started on that right away. I was just like, it helped me get out of bed on Monday mornings and to work, because I would literally film in my car before I walked into the building. So then once the pandemic hit and I started working from home, I kind of didn't have that motivation to get up and dressed and, my hair done and makeup done to film a Monday morning coffee talk. So they got a little more challenging to do, but I still tried to power through and get that what sold out every week. And it does kind of keep me accountable to keep up on my numbers, like my reselling spreadsheet of, what has sold. So I still appreciate it, but I think I'm kind of doing it twice a month now instead of every single week. So yesterday I just did my Monday morning coffee talk for the first half of the month. And really I should have done it the week before, because it was, I think, the 17th, and I had all the data ready, but I was I just don't feel like filming today.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, I wish I had a buzz cut. It would just make things so much easier. Like I'm telling you, the hair is like today, it's kind of got this curliness going on. Some days I straighten it. Hair's a challenge.
It just goes in a bun most days. It doesn't need to do that. I actually brushed my hair for this one talk. I normally don't brush my hair, which I realize is not something that most people don't do.
No, but you always have it like cutie, like you do the braids and have it up and
the braids are easy. I need to research some more historical Asian hairstyles because I actually have Asian, like my dad's Japanese, and like I need my hair tech. While I look very not Asian, my hair texture is. So my hair doesn't hold curl. My hair doesn't do product. It's too light and fine for that. So, Indy, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Yes, thank you.
So I know we were talking about earlier about your name change. So you got the boost from the live with the Crazy Landscape Lady, and then like a month later, you're like, let's just change everything up. You know what? I've hit 1,000. Let's just do everything fancy and new.
That's right. I mean, honestly, it was like, okay, wait. So I'm really doing this, like this. I've stuck with it for more than a year now. Like I'm still doing this thing, and like I said, maybe time to get away from my initials and exactly where I live in the United States. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I think it's a good time to like before I actually do get monetized and try to grow even further. I think I better make it like if I'm going to make a change, I should make it now.
That's true, and that's honestly a really smart move. If you're going to make a change, now would be a really good like when you did it was a really good time. It's like, all right, well, I've hit my monetization.
I actually haven't. I'm still working on watch hours.
Okay, hold on. How do I do this? Can we high five? Because I'm also other way. There we go. I'm also over 1,000 and have not hit monetization, but that's a lot of due to the fact that a lot of my videos are very short.
Yeah, which I appreciate. Like I have a hard time with long videos. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh, yes, she has like a 10-minute video. This is perfect. Like I can watch it because here's another fun fact. I watch all YouTube videos in double time. So I actually really have a hard time watching lives because I feel like everybody talks so slow because I'm so used to watching everything in double time.
I can't do that. See, I have auditory dyslexia. So if it's too fast, it just becomes white noise and I have no idea what just happened.
Okay.
So I can't do that. And
well, I think if it's too slow, I start to like my mind starts to wander. Yeah. So like the fact that it's fast, I like have to pay attention. Then I'm like in and I'm like listening.
So I have a question. So when you're watching YouTube, do you like watch it or are you listening to it predominantly in the background?
I am usually watching and listening. So yeah, I would say that I'm usually watching and listening. Sometimes I will have it like on my phone while I'm working and then I'm trying to work. So then I am just listening. But I typically like, especially if I'm watching jewelry unboxings, like it's not really fun to just listen to them. Like I want to see what's going on too. So I feel
that's another thing. You're one of the few people I've seen that like I know and watch. Really, that's so unnecessary. Sorry. Mine is like the first house in a major housing community, so I get all the fun, and it's right by a military base. Oh. So it's just vroom vroom all the time. Mm-hmm. You do a lot of jewelry stuff, and I know that Darshi Thrifts, which is Mary, which is part of Jocelyn's community for Crazy Lamp Lady. Like, I know nothing about jewelry because, as you can tell, I don't wear it.
Right. Yeah. You would think that I would wear more jewelry than I do. Like, I have the left finger rings. And then I just did an unboxing before I came on here. I filmed one. So I have a bracelet from that unboxing. It's owls because I love owls. See, aren't they cute?
They're very cute.
And then just some earrings, but like no necklace. Like I don't wear as much jewelry as you would think for as much jewelry as I now have from sourcing it for reselling.
So why do you source jewelry for reselling?
I do honestly feel like it's the thrill of the hunt, like trying to find if there is precious metal or something that is, you know, like a designer brand or something like that that's going to resell for high. And I think I got lucky with my first couple of unboxings that I was able to turn a profit pretty quickly. And I just like became addicted then. I'm like, ooh, sparkly. Let's get more.
The actually first designer piece of anything I had was actually a Givenchy bracelet that I found on the ground.
No kidding.
Yes. But that is the only piece of like jewelry. I still have like piercing jewelry in because I have tons of piercings, but I don't like having things on my body. But I think that has a lot to do with I know Jocelyn talked about, like, I have a nickel allergy, and a lot of modern jewelry has nickel in it.
Right. Yeah, it'll specifically say nickel free if it doesn't have it.
Right. So I have like a severe issue with that, which is why I also don't wear a whole lot of jewelry. But I find that interesting. So do you have a lot of success doing jewelry? Like, I see that your jewelry unboxings do well as far as videos go, but like
that was interesting too. I started following Kristen D, and she like sells directly through her videos, and I was like,
really?
Yeah, I was like, so does that work well for you? And she was like, oh yeah, like actually having to photograph and list items is an afterthought now. And I was like, ooh, tell me more. So yeah, like she started doing like purses too, like purse unboxings and like thrifted purses that she sells through her channel. And she'll post a video and she'll have like 15 sales. I'm like,
that's amazing.
And she didn't have to take pictures. She didn't have to research and list. You know, she's just like, here's a Michael Kors purse. Isn't it pretty? It's $30. Like,
hello, Sammy. See, that's something that I've come to notice, and I like just recently had my first like sale. Well, besides my friend Victoria, super geeked, like, because anytime I get anything mid-century modern and I'm somewhere where I know she's gonna like it, I'm like, hey, do you want me to pick this up for you? Just give me whatever I paid for it and shipping. I don't count that.
Right.
This is the first time I've had like a viewer sale where like I didn't list it, and they're like, I want this thing. Okay, cool. I'll give you a super deal on it because I don't have to do anything.
Right.
I have the biggest of death piles.
Oh, yeah.
So I've realized that that's just wild to me. I know that there are a ton of resellers that don't do YouTube and do mainly Instagram and just sell stuff off of Instagram. And I find that just insane.
Yeah. It is a little daunting because it's really like, it's up to you. Like you have to track everything. And, you know, then I go to Pirate Ship to make my labels. You know, it's not like eBay's not keeping track of what's sold and what I need to ship out and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So you kind of have to manage it yourself, but then you're not paying the fees either. So.
Okay. So then that's another question. So like I have an LLC. Like heroin BCRB is a whole heckin' business. But like
yeah, I still need to do all of that. I'm really bad. That's what I always say. Like, I don't like to talk about the business side of things because this is still just hobby income for me.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Okay. So I did it for safety reasons is the reason why I did my LLC. But also because of the fact that like I am very much like I want to make sure I follow all the rules and all the laws and all of that stuff. So for me, I wanted to make sure that like I was doing everything. So I have my resale license as well. and like where I can, if I bothered to do it, I could go to like Goodwill and the Dab and all those thrift stores and stuff and be like, hey, I have a tax exempt form. Please don't charge me tax, and like get the thing. But I almost always forget it, even though I have it in my car. So at what point is it going to not be a hobby anymore for you? And maybe Moxie, really?
I love it.
I'm having a serious business discussion. You're like, hello, human. Let's just walk across the camera here.
I love it. So yeah, I mean, I really, it's kind of like, it's definitely high on my to-do list that I really need to, but I don't know even like where to start or anything like that.
So the thing is, Tommy, is that if they're predominantly an eBay seller, eBay just gave people the option to do that. If they were predominantly Etsy seller, that was something that they could always do, because Etsy coupons with like names and words and stuff has actually been a feature on that for a while. But if they're eBay, that just started as of this month that they could do coupon codes. So if you have an eBay store, you can do that, where you can put like a link in the description.
Store. I always say, like, I feel like I'm like pretending to be a reseller, like, because I still haven't done like all the serious things. Like I don't have an eBay store. I have not explored sole proprietor versus LLC versus all that stuff.
If you have those questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Thanks.
But like, yeah, so I just have it because for me, it was getting to the point where like I needed to do it just because of the fact that I have my Twitch income. At the beginning of the year, I had rental income. Well, last year I had rental income, and then I had also my reselling income as well. So at the point, it was just like, yes, it's a pass-through LLC entity, but it still needs to happen because I need to get on that Schedule C life. And you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. I am not an accountant. I just
Right.
deal with lots of money in my 9-to-5 job. So do not take financial advice from me. I just do money as a regular thing.
Is it pronounced Ashara? Ashara? Ashara. Yeah. So I appreciate that she said no serious discussion is complete without cat butt. Very true. And yeah, she said an LLC protects your personal assets. So
it does. And so it's like, I can say that, it's also really nice for tax write-offs as well. If you work a 9-to-5 and you would like some tax write-offs in there, it's having an LLC is a good place to have that.
Yeah, I gotta find a guy. Everybody says like, I got a guy. I gotta find my guy. And yes, okay. Somebody else was curious about your tattoos.
Here, we're gonna put this on here because I know that we were talking before.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so heckin' cute. I just saw the little tiny picture. You are slay gorgeous, Cheryl. Look at that. Look at that smile. But yeah, you wanted to ask about. No, I do
wanted to ask. Yeah, tell us about your tattoos.
So I have a literary sleeve. I also have another channel that I'm actually going to start uploading on as I finish books. Books have been a major part of my life all throughout. And these are all, except for this one, this has to do with my disability. But all the rest of them are all books. I will talk about them individually. This is Clockwork Angel, which is a series by, Cassandra Clare. Okay. It's a 3-book series set in Victorian/Edwardian London. It's a fantasy YA novel. This sword and Need is actually the name of the sword. This is By the Sword by Mercedes Lackey, which is another fantasy writer. This is my interpretation. This is Stegeman. That's a dragon.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's a Chinese dragon with wings. Chinese dragons typically do not have large bat wings. That is typical to European dragons. This is Stegeman from Her Majesty's Wizard, which is by Christopher Stasheaf. And then, I'm gonna have to stand up for this. So this is cover art from Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. And then this tattoo is a Tough Mudder tattoo. So while I am a disabled creator with a couple of neurological disorders, in 2011, I had a severe near injury from roller derby. I fractured my tibial head in 2 places. I tore my PCL, my ACL, and my right lateral crustaceous ligament, and I was wheelchair bound on and off for about a year. I couldn't walk. I'm a very big medical advocate for individuals because I actually had to, because I have POTS. So this is prior to me getting diagnosed with my neurological disorder. My body doesn't react to trauma the way most people's bodies do. So despite the fact that I had torn 3 ligaments in my knee and fractured my bone in 2 places, I had 0 swelling. I had a small bruise the size of a quarter on my knee when that happened.
So that makes it really hard to diagnose.
Well, it makes it hard for people to take you seriously.
Wow, yeah.
So if you come in and like, I can't walk, and you have a tiny bruise and on a regular x-ray, nothing shows up, the doctors are like, girl, you just trying to get some pain meds.
Yeah.
No. My chart says I am actually allergic to narcotics. I'm not pain med seeking. I am literally unable to walk.
Yeah, like
so
I need help.
Yeah, I got she's off on her way now. But I had to fight for 6 weeks to get an MRI. And then when I got my MRI diagnosis, I was working for Nike at the time, and like I just started crying in the office because I was like, I'm not crazy.
Validation, yeah.
And the thing is they had me in physical therapy for those 6 weeks prior to getting my MRI. And when the physical therapist was like, I was giving you physical therapy for this, I actually made your shit worse.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So this Tough Mudder tattoo, this is the first time I was able to run in 2 years.
I was going to say, so you actually did a Tough Mudder after that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, it pops off my skin, Cheryl, because I am white AF because I never get to see the sun. But also like SPF helps. So I make sure to put SPF 15 on my arm and moisturize every day. I feel like a lot of people don't do proper tattoo aftercare. So
how long yeah, because obviously no, I shouldn't say obviously. That's
so a lot of tattoo people say like red fades over time, but this is all red. It still looks very red. Mm-hmm. And that's just because I did proper aftercare. Also the fact that I actually dry healed this tattoo when I did color. I don't feel like dry healing gets talked to about enough, but yeah, that was the only way I could heal this because trying to put any kind of moisture on it was just like not happening.
Okay.
Yeah,
thanks. Very cool. I'm glad you told us about your tattoos. I was very curious.
I mean, I could go into like how each book affected me, but I feel like that should be other videos.
Yeah, there you go. That can be for your other channel.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Cheryl. But I had the thing is before the pandemic is that this is supposed to be a whole sleeve.
Oh.
No, there is
planned out?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So this is okay. So I feel like a lot of people in the literary world and just in general, when I talk about Ayn Rand, just automatically tune me out.
Okay.
But it's going to be Atlas Shrugged here, which is the Atlas holding the globe. That's going to be, the world is going to be on my shoulder. You're carrying the world on your shoulder. It's a lot of like double meaning.
Yeah.
The Great Gatsby, the eyes, the floating eyes. Have you ever seen that cover art?
I have not, to be honest.
But unless you're like really into books, you're not going to know exact cover art for the book I'm talking about, but it's going to be the Great Gatsby here. And then I haven't decided if I want to do the Fountainhead here or not. But yeah, this is good. It's the whole thing is supposed to be literary except for this, and that's because I got this first before I decided to do a literary sleeve.
Okay.
But yes, Tommy, there is sun in Virginia. It gets over 100 here, and it's sun and hot and sweat.
I'm north. I mean, yeah, Pennsylvania.
Do you have tattoos, Dale?
I have no tattoos. Nope.
Why?
I'm a blank canvas.
That's beautiful.
I can't say, like, there's nothing that I have felt like I want to commit to for the rest of my life, by having a tattoo of it.
The thing that's I always find it interesting with tattoo newbies that's their thought process, because to be honest, after it's been on your skin for like 6 months, you completely forget about that they're there. Like,
right.
Kubris, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. I want to get the Dragon Age. I did read the first book. I have not read the other 4. I'm getting there.
Lenny playing with rabbits on there.
Who's Lenny?
Of Mice and Men, right? Isn't it? Is that what he means? No.
Is that what you mean?
I'm not sure.
Andy, thank you.
That was where my head went. Hey, Jess.
Well, see, the thing is that, yes, I understand that there are severe issues with capitalism, which I feel is where most people, we're going to have a book discussion.
It's all good. It's all good.
Ayn Rand was a genius. The way I relate to her writing is more with individuals that are, she has a lot of strong female characters that are not taken seriously due to their gender, and that's where I identify with her work, versus the capitalist nature, which is also something she strongly writes in. It's not just the capitalism that is prevalent in her writing, it's also the thematic, like, patriarchy, like the fact that women are smart and powerful and strong, and they are completely overlooked in a socialist society as other than baby makers, which, to be honest, a lot of times in capitalist societies, they're just baby makers too. But
right.
But I feel weird saying that in front of a mom, so
it's all good.
But I feel like you're also raising like strong, smart women as well. That's because right. You talked about that you have 2 daughters. One of them is being an astronautical engineer, which is chef's kiss in my opinion.
She's great. I always woo. She took an aerospace class in high school. I will say, like, our high school is fantastic. And as we toured colleges, we saw like more and more how fantastic it was, because they have a really great STEM program that they start in 9th grade with like this whole intro to STEM. And then they have more classes that you can take to go like more in depth. And so, yeah, she took this aerospace class, and that's when she was like, all right, I think I'm going to do aerospace engineering. And I was like literally rocket science? Really? Like, I went to school for marketing. Like, I'm the people that the aerospace engineers make fun of because I just went for business, And
that's not true. I can tell you for a fact that that's not true.
But and my husband didn't graduate from college, so it's crazy that she's going for aerospace engineering. And then my younger daughter is going to go for vet tech. So she looked at being a full vet, and let me tell you how unfair it is that they have to go to school for just as long as doctors, but they do not make doctor salaries.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So it was like, you're going to accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt because we don't have that money. And I don't know if you're ever going to be able to pay it off on a vet salary.
See, that's the thing, though, is that's something that she's got. The fact that you had that conversation with her is amazing. Like, the fact that you're that fiscally understanding that, hey, you're going to get into this amount of debt. Is this something that you really want to do? Because you're going to have to carry it, because that's not forgivable in bankruptcy, which most people don't understand. Right. Like, if you try to do something else and like you lose your job, like yeah, you may be declaring bankruptcy, you can get out of these other things, but like student loan debt is not a part of that. So
No. Well, and then we talked to a vet who recently graduated from vet school. Plus, it's like 8 years, if not more. So it's a long commitment. Like, are you sure you want to commit to this 8 years? And
now, is she specifically wanting all animals? Have she looked into becoming a farrier instead? Like maybe just dealing
she
with
will
horses?
get exposed to like large animal. I mean, she's thinking like, you know, your local vet pets, you know, cats and dogs and small animals, but they do get exposed to large animals at the school she's going to. So we went up for orientation and somebody on the student panel said, you know, she came in thinking cats and dogs, and then she got exposed to the large animals, and now she's like all in on large animals and farm animals and, you know, like the breeding and livestock and all that stuff. So the reason she's going where she's going is because it's like the number 3 vet tech program in the country. So they do expose them and they have a lot of opportunity. So that's super exciting. She's graduating next week actually from high school.
Oh, congratulations.
And then she'll head out in August, and that's when we'll be empty nesters. And that's where I have my reselling then to keep me busy.
So, okay. So you do have you're married. You have a husband. How does he feel about your reselling?
We just celebrated our 21st anniversary. So I will tell you that he's been supportive, but he's not that crazy about it. Like when it started spilling and making a mess in the house.
Again, another reason why my partner and I live separately, because I also don't think he would enjoy that. Yeah. I would have to keep my desk pile much smaller.
Exactly. Yeah. He's kind of like you need to calm it down. Like, I understand the thrill of the hunt, but you still need to sell the stuff even after, or get rid of it. Like either sell it or get rid of it then. And, but I will tell you, if you watched my Saturday video, did you watch my Saturday video yet?
I don't know. I watched your most recent video.
Okay. So I did a what sold on yesterday where I covered the first half of the month's sales, but on Saturday I went yard sailing and I stumbled on this woman selling Build-A-Bears.
Oh no, I did see that one where you had like a crap ton of stuffies.
Right? Plushies. Right? Who knew?
Well, I mean, Chris from Cajun Resellers and Emily Conway know.
Exactly. But Emily Conway and Chris the Cajun Reseller. So thank God. And this is what I'm telling you. I love watching resellers because you learn so much from what other people share. So thank God, like I actually just went back then and looked. Emily Conway posted a video last July, which I know I watched. That was about like the top 25 Build-A-Bears sales on eBay, where she just looked for Build-A-Bears that have been selling high and, you know, went through them. So when I was at this sale, I was like, oh, I'm going to get the My Little Ponies because, you know, they'll probably sell well.
Bronies will definitely.
Exactly. Yeah. She was only selling them for $4 a piece. So I'm like, if they sell for $20, great. So I went back to my car. I put the stuffies in my car. And then I went on eBay and did the high to low and thought like, did I see any of these? And I'm like, son of a gun, I did. So these stupid pink dogs, I don't know what the deal is with them, but I'm telling you.
Did you sell them yet?
But wait for my next what sold.
Okay. Don't want to spoil anything.
Subscribe to my channel, but I'm telling you that I am, if you watch my video, I am almost at the total that one sold for. And I have 2 of them. It's up for auction right now.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. Right away, as soon as it went live, I had people saying, can I just buy it now for I had it starting at $250. And I had $250 offers, $300 offers. And I was like, no, I think I'm going to let this go to auction.
See, that's the thing. Like, I know I talked about it in my Instagram stories. I watch a lot of reselling content. Like, I sell everything. The problem with this in my area, I don't get a lot of traditional hard goods like electronics and video games because there are too many resellers focus on that specific genre in my area. So the hard goods that I get a lot of are glass and ceramics because people are afraid to ship those.
Right.
And
Yep.
I sell clothing of all types, but we also, again, have a lot of resellers that do clothing reselling. So unless I'm making an estate sale deal, I don't get clothing volumes as well either. But I follow a lot of people that aren't just in the United States. I follow people that are in Australia. I follow people that are in the UK. I follow people that are in Canada. I watch a lot of reselling content that follow the spectrum, like people that just do video games, people that just do stuff that's like well over $1,000, people that do stuff that's like ephemera. I follow people that sell anything because if you're consuming the content, even if it's just passively, like it's on in the background, you will be surprised at what your brain picks up on, and you're like, I think I've seen that before. I've heard about that before. Let me actually like take a few seconds to look that up. And that's really, really important. So like if you're just following American resellers, maybe see if you can find someone that does reselling outside of the States, because you can learn a lot of brands that way that might come over. I live in an area that has a lot of tourism and it has a lot of expats in it. If you don't know what expats means, it just means people that come from, that live here that are from other countries.
Right.
The area that I live in has a lot of that because we get a lot of international exchange students, as well as it's just a very wealthy touristy area. So we have a lot of individuals that are like, oh, Virginia's lovely, we're going to retire here. Yeah. And they're from other places. So knowing brands just outside of the United States are also super important as well. And consuming that kind of content is important because, yeah, I can tell you a whole bunch of American brands that are really great for reselling, but I can also tell you a lot of German brands to look out for. I can tell you a lot of English brands to look out for. I can tell you a lot of like Australian brands to look out for as well. Like that.
What did you just get that you posted on Instagram?
Oh, the Chinese mark. Okay, here, I'm gonna go. Well, no, I'm not going to get it. Okay. I don't remember where I put it. No, I'm going to go get it because I'm going to refill my wine glass. We have like a few minutes left. So Dale, I'm going to leave it up to you. How do I make you big?
I'll just tap dance.
I have like a few minutes left. So Dale, I'm going to leave it up to you. How do I make you big?
Cyril is talking. Cyril is my Apple Watch.
Oh, funny.
But Dale, I'm going to leave it up to you. Please field questions. I'll be right back before I get that book.
Yes. So I'm reading some of the chats now. I hadn't been reading. Philly Flipper, hey, thanks for subbing since I knew the Mice and Men. And yeah, I feel like I'm still figuring out life too. So I agree. It's impressive that they committed. But yeah, so my younger daughter is doing the 2-year program, and then she can see if she wants to keep going and doing the 8 years and take it further. But she found that the vets don't interact with the animals as much as the vet techs do. So she was kind of like, I think I just want to be the vet tech. But yeah, Cheryl, you're right about schooling is so freaking expensive. It is disgusting. And the interesting thing that we learned as we were touring colleges, especially with my older daughter, because she is on the soccer team up at RIT. So she wanted to like be recruited and play a sport in college. So we toured so many colleges. And the endowments that some colleges have is insane. Yeah. And so like people think that, like the Harvards, Yales, Princetons, that they would be like so expensive. Their endowments are so huge that if you can get in, it's not any more expensive than the state schools here in Pennsylvania. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I won't get on my higher ed rant.
No, that's totally okay. So, okay. Now I follow Nick and Andrea Hills, which are UK resellers. Andrea does a lot of clothing. Nick does a lot of hard goods, but in the more traditional sense of like video games and like toys and that kind of stuff. But they're UK resellers. And then they have a friend that have been on their lives called Walter, and he is a Welsh antique dealer. And on his channel, he was talking about this. So this is Marks on Chinese Ceramics by Gerald Davidson. I put it on my Instagram stories because this book is 60 pounds and then it's about 30 pounds to have it shipped to you. So all in, if you're American, this is about $116 given whatever the exchange rate is that day. This book, not this printing, resells for like $190 to like $250 plus shipping. So if I wanted to, I could have bought 3 copies of this, sold 2 of them, and then gotten this for free. But morally, I don't feel like that's right because you can just buy this from Mr. Davidson directly. Now, why would you want to get this book? Well, have you ever been at a thrift store and just seen a mark with 4 characters on the bottom of it?
Yep.
And it doesn't say, you know, made in China or whatever else. It just has 4 characters on it. The reason why that's important is because the Chinese market for buying their antiquity items, because I don't know if you know this, if you live in the States, especially if you live more towards the west coast of the States, there was a large influx of Chinese immigrants into the United States during the 19th century. And they brought with them, you know, family heirlooms as they were able to bring their either buy wives or bring their family over. They also brought their antiquity over as well. And Chinese are buying their stuff back. So if you can find stuff that is old and valuable, depending on the dynasty of which it was created, it's thousands of dollars. And the thing is that because of the fact it just has Chinese characters on it, people don't know what it is. Yeah. So this gives you a way to figure that. I haven't gotten to read it. That's one of the things I'm going to do over Memorial Day weekend is read a book about Chinese marks because that's what I'm interested in. But this is important. And Gerald Davidson is someone who dealt with Chinese antiques exclusively. He is considered a behemoth in his field. If anything else, you can buy this book and resell it for an additional $50 in the American market, if that is what you so choose to do with it. I'm not advocating that. I'm just telling you, if you decide to buy this and you're like, I don't want to ship pottery and just resell it, you're going to make more than your money back. This book right now, in its 2016 printing, is like at $1,000 almost on Amazon. It's stupid.
Isn't that so crazy? That's like the pink puppy. Like,
yeah, but that's because this person is a behemoth in their field. They know what they're talking about. It is very thorough and like breaking down what all the characters mean in like, I don't know if you don't know anything about the Chinese language where the characters are placed means it changes their meaning a lot. It's a lot. But this is what I'm really interested in. I do find a lot of Asian pottery. This again only covers Chinese pottery. Kanji and Japanese markings are not the same. Korean is actually a new language as of the 60s. So those markings they don't use the same characters that Chinese does. So again, this is just for Chinese markings, but it's very helpful.
That was interesting. I just sold 3 cups. Oh, saw 3 cups last weekend with Marks and walked away from it. See, you never know.
But that's okay. And you're not going to know. And that's totally okay. That's why I want to learn more about it, because of the fact that the Chinese are buying their stuff back and that you can find exceptionally valuable stuff for dirt cheap because nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Hey,
are you looking? Okay, so I know that it's almost 8, and I don't.
It's almost 8. It's time for Cats Live.
I know. Do you have any questions for me? Or do you want to talk about anything on your channel? Because you do. So if you're just tuning in here, because I know that a lot of people tune in later in, but Dale does a lot of unboxings on her channel. She does a lot of what solds. She's another part-timer like me. She's one of the few part-timers I've had on my channel.
The struggle is real. I feel like see these bags under my eyes.
Trust me, sometimes I'm triple packed underneath of mine. I totally get that.
Yeah. So, so I do work, and now I found out we're going to have to go back to the office in July. So it'll be interesting because I haven't really done this whole reselling and YouTube business working from the office, because I started in February, and then, a month and a half later, everything shut down and I started working from home. So I haven't really done this being in the office. So
that's interesting. See, the thing is that one of the videos I'm going to make, because I'm going to do Victoria's listing challenge. Like, I feel like I missed out because when the pandemic started, I kept going to the office. My life did not change at all.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still working my 9 to 5 at the office every day. And like, I feel like a lot of people reselling business grew and their YouTube channels grew because of the fact that they got to do it from home. And it's like, oh, wow. Cool. I don't have a different pandemic experience because I didn't have a different pandemic experience. I just had to wear a mask everywhere. That was literally the only thing that was different. And I didn't get to go to my conventions, which are normally something that I like to do.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband has been going into the office every day since, nothing changed for him at all, except he never goes to the grocery store anymore.
He just makes you do it, right?
That's right. Yeah. Our daughter did.
Are you going? Okay, so is the Reseller Rally, is that the thing run by Cincinnati Picker?
I believe so, yes, and I'm not going. That's next weekend. We have graduation next weekend.
Yeah, I feel like that was poor timing because individuals that have family, that's not going to be a good thing to try to compete against.
Yeah. Yes, but so yes, I try to do twice a month what solds. I do unboxings, specifically jewelry and purses are my main focus, but I will have a lot of plush because I saw that the person that I did buy some of the Build-A-Bears from, that I posted my video on Saturday, she posted the rest of them on Facebook Marketplace, and so I bought the rest of them. I was like, I'll take them.
Did you really?
I did. So I have a whole bunch. I'm going to have a whole bunch of Build-A-Bears now that I'll be selling.
But that sells really well though, and it's not just.
That's what I said to my husband. I'm like, she's selling them for $4 a piece. Like, I'll make money on them.
See, that's something that I don't. Okay, I will be the first to admit I don't understand that because of the fact that like. I just view it as that one weird shop in the mall.
Right.
I don't understand it. But then again, I was never one of those children that got to experience building a bear for a birthday party.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I totally don't get it. But yes, so those are the things that you'll find on my channel. But then I will. So Kat's Live is just kicking off now, where she has the boys on tonight, Joey Bada Bing and Profit Monsters and Harry Tornado. But then next week.
Is it you? It's you, isn't it?
It's me. So
we're gonna raid her channel. We're all gonna wrap up here. But yeah, don't pass up plush. I also pick up plush when I can get it for dirt cheap and it's something interesting. And I have had some success selling it, but it's like turning a quarter into like $20. So, but again, I do that all the time with mugs. So
yeah, this is my first like big, like, oh my God, that's going to be like, people are going to be looking at my sold comp now when they sort high to low.
true. So
Very
I do the out of stock option, but that's because I have a lot of people that like decide halfway after buying stuff that they don't want to buy it anymore. So that's why I do I have a glass mic. Yes. So this is recycled glass, by the way. This is a very, very thick wine glass because, again, I don't have feeling in my hand due to my disability. So I do heavy, thick glasses so they're less likely to break. That doesn't mean they don't break. What are you drinking?
That is wine and seltzer.
I mean, I saw it was Abita, which is also a beer brand, but yeah.
I'm drinking it out of a beer glass just because.
Okay.
But yeah, so next week on June 1st, I will be on Cats Live with Jocelyn again and Misty. So Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady, and Misty from Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter.
Oh,
so
again?
Yes, it'll be us
That'll be exciting.
again. And it's Misty's birthday. And I sent her this ginormous box that she has to open on air. So that'll be fun.
Good. Okay. So we're going to wrap up here. Dale, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
you guys are still wanting to enjoy a live, this is Kat's Live. This is her link. So if you want to go to this video right here, this is Kat's Live. You can talk to Harry Tornado, or you can wait, I think, another hour. And I believe Tommy Bernard will be live with Common Tags, Courtney from Common Tags.
Oh, awesome.
So
yeah.
There is a ton of fun live content to enjoy on a Tuesday evening.
That's
Dale,
great.
thank you for joining me. And it was nice to
Thank
talk to you. So we're going to end the broadcast now. And thank you guys so much. Bye.